Welcome back here to Mountain Connections. I'm really excited to have my next guest on with me. His name is Mr. Ron Jackenthal. He's the founder of the Live Like Sam Foundation. Ron, how are you doing today,
Hey man,
sir?
nice to see you again.
Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. So for those who are not familiar with Live Like Sam, give us a little breakdown of what you guys are all about and how this all began.
So our foundation started conceptually 4 years ago after my son Sam, who was a U.S. national ski champion that grew up here in Park City, was training in Australia with his team and had a ski accident, and ultimately he had passed away. And we came back from Australia, had this amazing community support for the month he was in the hospital, and it was just amazing. Like, you couldn't really hit rock bottom given the worst circumstance, and from that, and so much encouragement from the community, from folks at Ski Team and the Olympic Foundation and all the nonprofits and educators in town, we created a fund, and that fund raised money a couple times a year, and I would essentially take that money and give it to one of the local nonprofits. And then this time last year, I just couldn't believe how much momentum and caring.
Absolutely.
And 4 years later, 3 years later, there was still for Sam. So I left my job, and I decided I would see where I could take Live Like Sam, and we created livelikesam.org. It's 10 months ago, and since then, we have 35 partners. We've raised over $100,000 this past year. We've given out in the past year probably $50,000 in scholarships. Wow. And we focus on three things. We focus on education, predominantly character-based education, scholarships, so needs-based scholarships and character-based scholarships, and community integration.
That's fantastic. And you guys have, as you said, have been doing so much over these last 10 months. You guys have gotten a ton of partners and have been able to expand your reach and be able to spread this mission and this community and these beliefs to more people, which is just fantastic. So I congratulate you guys on that, and thank you for the hard work that you're doing as well for this community. We really, really appreciate it. So you guys have an amazing event happening this afternoon at Park City Mountain. Let's talk about that specifically. What's going to be going on over there, and what can people expect to see?
Pretty simple event. It's really more of a feel-good event for kids. So I'll back up a little bit.
Okay.
3 years ago, 6 months or so after Sam's accident, we started having conversations, or I did, with Bill Rock at Vail and his team. And Vail came back, and Park City Mountain Resort came back, and we decided to collaborate on a project on mountain where they would build a park and pipe feature in honor of Sam, and they would not just do it the way they would traditionally do it, which is on their own. They brought in Sam's friends and teammates and coaches.
That's great. And
collaborated. So there was lots of meetings, lots of pizza parties, lots of CAD drawings, and ultimately what came out of that was 5 rail sections that can either all go together, and they form a 60-foot long line of rail sections.
Wow.
Really cool. Scares me.
That's scary. Yeah, it terrifies me.
Or they can stand individually.
That's
or
so
different
cool.
groups. And they have been on the mountain for the last 3 years. They're painted blue. Unlike everything else on the 7,500 acres at Park City Mountain Resort is green. It says, "I ride for Sam." It has 2 giant gold handprints, which are actually Sam's handprints enlarged.
That's awesome.
on the features. And then we had an event way up on the mountain where his teammates and friends and family members came, and they got their handprints wet in paint and would put their handprints on the rail. And so it has sat there for the last 3 years, and it's been heavily used. It's one of the most demanded features or set of features on Park City Mountain Resort.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you guys today are getting together to kind of celebrate and repaint these rails so that they can last at Park City Mountain well into the future.
Yes. So the first 4 rails are in pretty good shape.
Okay.
The last rail, the long rail, the landing rail, has just gotten trashed.
That's the one that, as you said, is one of the most demanded features at Park City Mountain. People love to ride that thing.
That's right. Yeah. And so it's great. It's exactly what you wanted. You don't want it to be pristine.
Exactly.
You want it to be ready for maintenance.
Exactly.
So Mike Orr and his team now at Park City Mountain suggested that we repaint the rail. We're actually branding it. So the first rails are still branded "I Ride for Sam."
Okay.
The last feature is branded livelikesam.org, which is great for our organization. And there'll be #LiveLikeSam, which we're excited about because we'll get exposure to hundreds of thousands of kids from around the country and even around the world.
Even around the world, yeah.
And then today's event is really more about like the youth coming out between 3 and 5 at the bottom of First Time Mountain at Park City Mountain Resort.
Yeah.
And just, they'll put gloves on, they'll get their hands
That's
in
great.
paint, they'll put their handprints up on that landing rail, and essentially think of it as they're holding Sam up, and Sam's large handprints are holding them up, and the community, and it's really just stands for, community integration, and it's just going to be fun. We have really cool Shred for Sam
Shred
stickers.
for Sam stickers,
and,
those are awesome. Some wristbands as
Live
well.
Like Sam wristbands, and maybe some
Thank
other
you.
things.
Yeah, thanks for the water bottle.
Not sure I've got a
Appreciate
couple
that.
hundred
Yeah,
water
no
bottles,
worries.
but we'll see how that
I
goes.
appreciate that though, and but I do want to talk about as well as how people can get involved with Live Like Sam into the future. What can they do actively to one, spread the mission of Live Like Sam Foundation, and also maybe go to help you guys in terms of volunteer and stuff.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we're small, we're powerful, so we're definitely small and mighty.
Absolutely.
And right now we're local, and things are moving pretty fast. I would say a few ways are, go on our website, join the movement, so you can just put in your name and an email address and just stay in touch with what we do. Go on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, and just follow us. We've done a lot of scholarshiping with partners like YSA here in town, USASA locally and nationally, Woodward.
Yeah.
If you're involved in an organization or run an organization and you think there might be some joint scholarshiping opportunities or competition around things around character building and character development, then contact me, contact us. You can go on the website, you can find me, or info@livelikesam.org. And I'd say just anything around education, character-based education, meaning it's not just around the podium.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about the character development as well.
Yeah, and just any way that we can integrate partners and scholarshiping and rewards and education, just contact me and let's see where we go.
That's great. There's plenty of room for collaboration. Ron, thank you so much for coming on. We always
Thanks, man.
appreciate
great
you
to see
guys,
you.
and we appreciate the work that you're doing for Live Like Sam Foundation. You can find out more information by heading to livelikesam.org, and definitely encourage you to head up to the bottom of First Time Lift today between 3 and 5 p.m. for the repainting of the livelikesam.org rail over at Park City Mountain. It's going to be a great event for everyone. We'll be right back with much more right here after this short break.